Hi, welcome to Get a Clue Casual Gamer, where we get a clue, C-L-U-E, about a game or maybe games. Today, I wanted to share with you a little insight as to what is the difference between an escape room game, an adventure game, and a mystery solving game. Now, technically, these are not like board games or card games, though they use cards, almost all of them, in some way or form, but usually it's for clues or puzzles. So this is kind of a thinking man's type of thing. But there is some difference, and there's some difference between different products in those categories, especially the escape room category. I'll just say I love and have done a couple escape rooms in person, and that's why I first got my first escape room type games, because I like them. And so the first one that I think I got was Escape Room the Game. And the big box has 4 different scenarios. So you have 4 different games in there, 4 different escape room type things. And so this was my first experience with escape rooms. And I'm going to tell you right off the bat, I really like the escape room, the game games, or escape rooms. Let me share with you a few of the other companies that do escape room style games, and then I'll tell you what I like or don't like in the different ones. So this one is Escape Room the Game, which also comes, and let me move some stuff around, you can get expansion packs, but to play this, you have to already have this main one. And it even tells you on the back which one you need to have and what you need to have from this box to make this one work. But this is the same company, Escape Room the Game, that kind of font and everything. And it has an app for mostly for just background sound, environment, and timing. But this is Escape Room the Game. Let me put this down. Let me put this big box down. Now, another one that I got early on was this one here, Escape the Room. And this is one escape room type game. And this one is Mystery at the Stargazer's Manor. This company has at least 2. I don't know if they've come out with a third one, but this was the second one that I got, and I've had it for several years now. And I enjoyed this one very much as well. Then I kind of went to, I came across this one, the MacGyver, the escape room game. And it was like, I had no clue about it, and I bought it. Later, I come to find out that it is recognized as a pretty good game. So that was even before I played the first one. In fact, it was on my shelf forever going, MacGyver, really? It comes with 5 missions in it. I've done the first one. And it's a pretty good one. So it's like, okay. And all 3 of these have aspects in them that are a plus for me. And I'm going to explain that to you once I explain all of these. Now, the next big popular ones that are out there right now are the Unlock series. And there's several of these. This is one that has 3. You can get small individual ones as well, but usually you can get the 3-pack cheaper than if you bought the 3 separate. So this is one. I have done this one here. I have not done the Alice in Wonderland or the Western one yet. This one's called the No Side Story, Tombstone Express, and this is the Adventures of Oz. Anyway, now this one is okay. I was not highly impressed by it. I needed a lot of online clues to get through this first one, and it's not supposed to be a really complicated one. Yeah, it's supposed to be the easiest one in this box, I believe, out of the 3, and which is why I did it. Yeah, I'll tell you why in a minute. Another big company doing a lot of escape room type thing is called Exit the Game. And Exit the Game is, again, you get piles of these solo games, and they cost about $15 retail. But these have something that the others don't, and these can only be used once, because to solve the puzzles, you will have to damage some of the components, which are basically cards in the exit games. So they cannot be played and then passed on. They can be played and then you're done. It's trashed. Not everything, but I mean, unless you're going to stop and Xerox and print out and on cardstock and do your own thing, you're going to have to, cut things up anyway. And then on the lighter side, I got this one. It's I figure for a lighter type of game experience, I got the Scooby-Doo Escape from the Haunted Mansion. And this one is an escape room thing, but it's also a mystery at the same time. So it kind of crosses over. Most of the escape rooms are just simply getting out. And you're stuck in a building, you're stuck in a house, you're stuck somewhere, and you're trying to escape. You're stuck in Prison Break or in a lab or something, and you have to escape. So those are the escape rooms, and here's why I prefer some over others. The Scooby-Doo one is an example of one that I have not done yet, but the components in it are promising because they are similar to the games that I more enjoy. Let's start with the ones I don't enjoy as much, and it's these two. The two most recent big name things that have series of them, they depend almost completely on a deck of cards. And for me, that's boring. It's a deck of cards. That's not escape room feel to it. I want an escape game that has a feel of actually components that I need to work with so that I can figure out how to escape. So I am not, up to now, I have not been impressed with the ones that I've done. Now, the ones that I like. What is it about them that I like? Well, I'll just open this one because it's right here, the MacGyver one. And the first thing is getting it open. See, it comes with this envelope, and inside the envelope is a bunch of different things. Things that open up, things that are used, things to reflect, items, actual items to use, components to use. It's not just a deck of cards with a puzzle say, look really closely, there's something in this card to notice. Again, in this one, escape the room. Open it up, and you have these envelopes. This is just a one-off thing, but each envelope is very different, and there's there's more here too. And inside of the envelope, not only is the envelope important, but inside of the envelope, there are other components as well. And I really like this type of thing. So that's the Escape the Room, the MacGyver, the Escape the Room, the Scooby-Doo, Escape from the Haunted Mansion, and Escape Room, the game. This one actually even has something even more so, in that it has what they call a chrono decoder, and it uses batteries, and it has spaces for these plastic keys, and you have to have the right combination of plastic keys in the right direction, in the right slots, to make it from one room to another, or from one event to another. But again, it has all of these envelopes with components in it. And I find that these are the escape room games that I really prefer. These are the ones that I want to play. Again, a different game, a different storyline, but these are the ones that I like. So the ones that I don't impress me much are the ones that depend very, very heavily on a deck of cards that you're constantly, they're numbered cards, and you're going for number 54 and find it, and then it says, no, this isn't it. And so then you go back to what you were doing, and you're trying to figure it out, and then it's like, okay, let me try deck this number. And you go to this, card number 99, and it's like, okay, so now you have another clue. Yeah, and I'm like, they don't impress me much. I don't get a lot out of them. But these others, the MacGyver, the Escape the Room, the Scooby-Doo Escape from Haunted Mansion, and the Escape Room, the games, are the ones that I personally prefer. Now, if you want, there's also another one called Deckscape, and it literally is just a deck of cards. I went through it, and then it took me forever with a lot of online clues to make it through, and then I gifted it, because all these others can be gifted. Exit is the only one that once and done. Once you've done it, you're supposed to be able to solve some of the puzzles. You have to cut up and manipulate some of the cards, so it's not useful again. The others, the Unlock, the Escape, the MacGyver, the Escape from the Game, all of those, you can carefully put back the components and gift it to somebody else and let them play it, including the Deckscape, which is a series as well. There are several Deckscapes. Okay, so those are escape room specific. But there are also other games that are very similar. I'm going to move some of this out of my way so I can bring it. One is a series called Adventure Games. And basically, Adventure Games is kind of like a cross between Choose Your Own Adventure and Escape Room. It's like you have this adventure that you're trying to complete, but you're using puzzly things like you would find in the escape room games. I am horrible at this. I'll say that right now. I cannot get off of the first floor. There's like 4 or 5 stories to floors to this adventure. You're climbing up it, trying to get into a secret lab, and I can't find the key to get the stupid elevator to work. And I have looked at everything, and you know what's really depressing? Let me show it to you. It's a bunch of cards. It's a bunch of cards. And again, I am lousy at this this kind of stuff. I gave up after an hour and a half on the first floor. I have looked at everything that I could find in the stupid picture. I have looked at every card number, that combination that I could, whether it was good or bad, whether I was supposed to take a negative point for looking at it or whatever. And I put it back in the box. I know there are people who absolutely love these games. The adventure game is a brand, and there are several of them, and I actually own at least one other. So I'm here going, I cannot play this solo. I am going to have to play it with other people who are better at it than me. I don't mind the adventure. I want the adventure. I want to get up to the second floor. I want to be able to look at more stuff and get more clues. But I was stymied, and I finally gave up after I was tired and I was just frustrated. But it's kind of like a cross between Choose Your Own Adventure, the books that you might have known as a child, and the escape room concept, the puzzles and the looking for information and looking at all the details you can find and deciding on different things. So it's not necessarily escaping a room. You actually have an adventure that you're trying to achieve. Again, it's a deck of cards. Now, this is another one that you will be able to, once you've solved it, you can pass it on to somebody else. You know, if you have friends who like this, it's like each buy a different one, and then once you've done it, swap them. I mean, that's, cost effective, truthfully. Another one that seems to be an adventure type thing that I have not opened yet. In fact, talk about it. Prepare to set out on an exciting adventure like no other as you discover, unlock, and decode the secrets of Box One. Box One, very shiny there, Box One, is a game created for one person to play. Now, the main components, because I have seen somebody who has opened the box and shown it's the main components in the box is a deck of cards. So that's kind of scary to me. And a pen. And then there's placed either an app or some online thing that the cards take you to, and you follow the directions and everything. Very well liked by gamers. I am waiting for a day where I feel very smart and do it. I got it on a good price, a good sale price, which is why I got it, because but it is a game for one, created by one. It's created by Neil Patrick Harris, the actor, but apparently the people who have played this, who have played who are gamers, say that he actually did a pretty good job, and it really does look like he's the one who created it, not just put his name on it. But it's an evolving game of trivia, code breaking, and puzzles uniquely designed to challenge only one person. And it seems that person is you, and only you alone. So Box One seems to be, again, an adventure type of thing, but uses those puzzles and such, like these other escape room games. So just a heads up, when you see this, or if you can get it for a really good price and you want to play solo, I have seen To Play or Not to Play, which is a husband and wife YouTube channel. They did it together, and they said you can do it with two people, but don't do it with more people, because it really is specifically created for one person, but two people you can get away with it with two people. So that is Box One, another adventure style game. But then what about the mysteries or the murder mysteries? I have always loved mysteries. When I was in second grade, my favorite book was The Secret Cat. In third grade, my favorite book was A Clue in the Woods. By fourth grade, I was reading Nancy Drew books. And then in my teens and adults, I've read the Agatha Christie's and all the Sherlock Holmes ones, and so many other mysteries. And I listen to audiobook mysteries, and I watch mystery TV shows. I've got BritBox and Acorn, because they have so many different mystery TV shows from other countries, from England and Australia, New Zealand, and all. So it's like, and Canada. So I love mysteries, and I love a variety of them. So I'm also drawn to these kind of games that are murder mystery solving. Now, one of the newer companies is the Cold Case by Think Fun, and it's very simple, just a little thing here. It's a one-off. There's just one murder mystery here, but it's supposed to be like you're trying to solve a cold case. And it can be 1 to 4 players. I would never do any of these with more than 4 people, because you get too crowded around the table trying to look at the clues. Excuse me. But here, inside this box is this envelope, and inside it's supposed to be a replica of a police file on this cold case murder, and it's got letters, a facsimile of letters, of newspaper clippings, of the autopsy, the mapping out of the room, some pictures. I mean, it's like all of this stuff, and by reading and looking and searching all this, you are supposed to solve the murder mystery, this cold case. This one is supposed to, the little promo here that they say is, in 1983, Harold Green was murdered while baking for the annual church fair. His body was discovered, but the police never identified his killer. Can you investigate the crime, examine the evidence, solve the decades-old murder mystery? And so it's got all these kind of things inside there, and it's left up to you to solve this murder. So opposed to escaping a room or going on to an adventure, here you're trying to solve a cold case murder. But then there's also, big box here, Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective, which I did mention a little while ago in a video I made, a list of games I have that are all about or use Holmes' name. But Consulting Detective has been out for decades. Originally, this box has 10 cases in it. It's not a cheap one either, just like the box one was not cheap, but that only has 1. This has 10 cases in it. It's very heavy. Again, I got it at a very good price, and so I am just enjoying holding off, waiting to have the right group of people together to work on one of these murder mysteries as if we were Sherlock Holmes. And so in it, you'll have facsimiles of the newspapers, the London Times. You'll have 10 case booklets, 10 newspapers, a map of London, and a directory, which is kind of like a telephone directory. And amongst this stuff, you have to find the clues to solve the murder. There are several of these. This is, I believe, is the first one, and it, like I say, has 10 cases in it. The main case is the Thames murders, but it also has one called the Mummy's Curse, the Munitions Magnet, the Pilfered Paintings. So that's the name of several of them. But it says there are 10 cases in this. So there you have it. This is another mystery, trying to solve a murder mystery, and that's the difference between these. There's some that are card driven, just a deck of cards. There are others that have components, envelopes that have different things in it. You have puzzles to solve. All of them are puzzly. So if you're looking for something that's a little puzzly but not board game type or card game, but rather kind of delving into this information that you've been given and trying to puzzle out how to escape, or how to achieve this adventure, or how to solve this murder. These are all different concepts of that brain work, but using different things. So basically, I'm just giving you a clue about these games, what kind of components you might find in them. Most of them, well, the escape room, they want you to get out within an hour. The adventure says that it has 3 90-minute adventures in here, three 90-minute sessions. So they are timed. A lot of them are timed. Now the murder mystery ones are not timed, but they say you should be able to solve one of the mysteries in about an hour and a half. So think of them as being something to really, if you have a small party, a small gathering of friends, this might be something that you could do together. That's something a little different, and definitely puzzling. Definitely puzzling. Like I say, some use cards, some have other components, some have apps that go with it, that you need to have the app, or some of them, the app is just for atmosphere. They're all well liked by many people, and so easy to find. They're all pretty available just about anywhere. I mean, you can find them online, you can find them in your local game store. Some of them you could even find in Barnes and Noble. You might be able to find one or two in Target. In fact, I think I bought a couple of these in Target. But yeah, miniaturemarket.com, gamenerds.com, boardgamebliss.com. It's like all these different board game places are where you would find these. I know I know that they sell this at the local game store. I know they do. I've seen it there, and I've seen the escape rooms and the unlocks and the exits. And box one as well. There you have it. You got a clue about the difference between escape room, adventure, and mystery games, and the little bit of difference between the different escape room styles of games. So until next time, happy gaming. God bless you and your family. Bye.